What if I told you that 1 million satoshis, which is just a tiny sliver of Bitcoin, could one day become the ultimate financial regret of this generation? Now, not because it's flashy and not because it's hype, but because it's scarce, silent, and mathematically running out. See, most people won't even notice until it's already out of reach. They'll laugh at it, ignore it, and then 10 years from now, they'll say, wait, that was only $1,000 back then. Well, it'll be too late. Because the door doesn't slam shut with fireworks, it closes quietly. And by the time that it's gone, regret becomes permanent. See, today I'm going to show you why 99% will miss it, and why 1 million sats might be the most asymmetric opportunity in the world right now, and how to make sure you're not one of the people looking back, wishing you had just hit buy. See, we live in a world obsessed with big numbers. People chase the whole coin, the $1 million portfolio, and the Lambo flex. But Bitcoin breaks that mindset, because Bitcoin isn't a flex, it's a filter that quietly separates those who understand exponential change from those still trying to play it safe inside systems designed to decay. See, 1 million sats, which is 0.01 worth of Bitcoin, doesn't look like much today, and it's around $1,000, give or take. But here's the kicker. There are 58 million millionaires on Earth, and only 21 million Bitcoin will ever exist. And that's before you subtract lost coins, cold storage, corporate treasuries, ETFs, and nation-state accumulation. Now, by the time this sinks in, the available float will be mathematically impossible to distribute evenly, which means 1 million sats, well, it's not small, it's elite access, and most people are laughing at it as it quietly disappears and forever. See, the big lie is that you need to get rich off Bitcoin, but you don't. You just need to own a small slice of the network before the rest of the world realizes it's closing in. See, 1 million sats isn't a get-rich play, it's a stay sovereign play. Because in a world where everything is printable, dollars, debts, narratives, GDP stats, and even rights, Bitcoin is only monetary constant, and owning even just a fraction puts you on a different trajectory than 99% of the population. See, most people are trying to grow wealth in a system that's designed to erode it. But you, well, you're storing time in something they can't touch. Now, that's not a trade, that's a power shift. So let's go ahead and break this down. There are 100 million satoshis in every one Bitcoin. So 1 million sats equals 1% of a coin. Now, sounds small until you realize how fast the landscape is changing. See, in 2025 alone, ETFs are vacuuming up more than Bitcoin miners can produce. Corporate treasuries now hold over 300,000 Bitcoin. Nation-states are beginning to accumulate behind closed doors, and millions of individuals are slowly waking up and stacking what they can. Now, at the same time, the supply stays fixed. The issuance rate gets cut in half every 4 years. No mining more, no central bank bailout, no policy lever to flip. So the math is brutal. The door is closing, and the masses haven't even noticed it's open yet. And that's what 1 million sats represents. Front row access to a closing window. And once it closes, well, it's not about price anymore, it's about what you missed. See, a few years ago, I talked to a friend who had the chance to buy 1 Bitcoin at $3,000. Now, he had the money, he had the knowledge, he even said, I'll do it next week. But then life got busy, he forgot, he waited, and today he's priced out of owning one whole coin, and he regrets it constantly. But do you know what he really regrets? Well, the mindset that made him wait. He thought he needed to buy a full coin or nothing, and he missed the part where even 1% of a coin was everything. See, now he sees the Bitcoin price at $100,000 plus, and all he sees is what he could have bought for a weekend vacation. See, that's where most people are headed, not because Bitcoin is expensive, but because they're mentally anchored to a fiat worldview in a world Bitcoin is replacing. See, the fiat system trained you to think in big numbers, more salary, more ROI, more status. But Bitcoin teaches you to think in finite units. There will only ever be 21 million, which means there will only ever be 2.1 quadrillion sats. And when the world shifts its unit of account, sats become the new dollars. So imagine this, it's 2035. 1 Bitcoin is $10 million. 1 million sats is $100,000. And you own 5 million sats, and your neighbour owns 0. Now the question isn't how much do you have, it's how much time can you buy and how much freedom did you preserve. Because when the game resets, your little stack becomes a sovereignty buffer. Now most people won't get this, and they're still thinking in fiat digits. But you, well, you're thinking in blocks, in years, in systems, and that's the shift. See, this isn't about making a quick buck. This is about how wealth is being redefined, and right under your feet. See, the greatest wealth shift of our lifetime won't be televised. It won't come with headlines. It'll happen when the people who bought 1 million sats today become the ones lending to the system tomorrow. Because while the world chases more dollars, more leverage, more illusions, you're anchoring into something no one can dilute. Now that's not just financial strength, that's philosophical leverage. And you're not getting rich in digits, you're rich in sovereignty, foresight, and conviction. And those are the three things that this system can't create. See, most people will realise this far too late. They'll regret not buying 1 Bitcoin. Then they'll regret not buying 0.1 worth of Bitcoin. Then 0.01, which is 1 million sats. So it's the same story, just a different decimal place. Now the number shrinks, the regret grows. But don't be the person telling your kids, I almost bought Bitcoin back when 1 million sats was just around $1,000. See, they won't care because by then they'll be working for someone who did. So here's the real question. If you knew this was your last chance to buy 1 million satoshis at today's price, what would you do differently? Would you wait for the perfect entry, or would you zoom out and realise you're not just buying the dip, you're buying the exit? Because 1 million sats isn't a lottery ticket, it's a lifeboat, and quietly floating beside a ship that's already sinking. So the only real question is, are you going to get in or keep watching from the deck? Now, if this helped you see the game differently, then hit subscribe right now. Because here, we're not chasing charts or hype, and if you're holding 1 million sats, don't let go. You're holding the future, even if 99% can't see it yet. Now, if you want to go deeper down the Bitcoin rabbit hole, then check out my ebook down below, because it's the wake-up call they never wanted you to read. Now, I do also have to chuck this disclaimer in here as well, and I highly suggest just pausing the video and having a little read. Now, if you've made it this far, and if you're looking for something else to watch, then click right here and have a watch of this.